Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened within the previous week in the world of BMX that I think you might care about. And if you tune in weekly, you might have noticed that we have a new setup. I'm trying this out this week. I don't know how it's gonna go because I haven't tested it yet. This is my test. So let me know what you guys think. If it works, let me know what background you want back there. Maybe we'll change it up based on what you guys want. Either way though, let's get right into the news. And the first thing that I wanna talk about this week is contests and jam news. The first thing there is the third stop of the DIY BMX Worlds at the Slab. So the first two stops of this series seemed super fun based on the video, and based on this third video, it seems like they get more and more fun every single time. The Slab looks like a ton of fun, and when you watch this video, it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that the people who hang out there are the ones that built the whole thing. This was not built by a skate park building company. This was built by the guys who hang out and ride and skate there. Van Homan took the win at this stop with a big sub-rail Abubica and a absolutely perfect wall ride to downside tail whip. And then after that, we had a highlight video from the Mallaly Skate Park and Pump Track 2018 Jam from Cult. This one doesn't really have anything other than straight riding in it, but it's got a bunch of shredders from Cult in there, including Chase DeHart, who does a crazy over ice pick to 270 on a double coping spine. And for that alone, you must watch this video. And then after that, we had 21 minutes of raw contest footage from the Pro Street Finals at BMX Cologne, followed by a highlights video from the Cookie Jam 2018 over in the UK. And that's everything for contest and jam news. So now we can move into the sponsor news from this week. The first thing is a video from Louise, middle and last name that I'm not going to butcher, that you can see up here. It's a welcome to flow video for Federal and iBike Chile. It seems like more and more people are getting hooked up with companies through bike shops, and that's never a bad thing to see. It's awesome to see so many people getting hooked up through bike shops. Louise hits the streets in this video and does some tech grind stuff along with a few big gaps. And honestly, there was a couple clips in this video that could have been the last clip, including a gigantic double peg drop to flat and a tail whip down a giant stair set, which had like stairs, a little bit of flat, stairs, a little bit of flat, then a bunch of stairs. Definitely worth checking out if you're into seeing what people have going on across the world. And then we had a welcome to We the People bike check with Brad McNicol. Not really much to say there. Bike check, pictures, check it out if you care. And that brings us to the videos from this week. And the first one that I want to talk about is Jay Wilson's section from the Bone Death Dirty Sniff DVD. All I want to know is, why isn't anyone talking about this video? Hands down, the best video that's come out this week, and it's crazy. There's just so much insane stuff in this video. The guy does a toothpick grind down a rail, but he does it one-footed. He does huge gaps, and honestly, if you were to tell me all of the things that happen in this video that is just over 2 minutes long, I would kind of wonder how it was possible to fit all of those things into a video that short. But he does it, and it's crazy, and I can't overstate it. And usually I don't like giving away the enders to these videos, but I gotta do it this time because the dude does a pretty gnarly roof drop to grind on a rail, and I'm pretty sure you guys can double check for me and let me know in the comments below that at 1 minute 10 seconds in this video, he does a gap to second stage rail ride on a round rail. Just imagine that, pedaling your ass off at a rail, jumping down to the second stage and landing on a round rail with your tires to ride down the rail. Complete insanity. I can't believe no one's talking about this, and it only has like 1,500 views or something like that right now. Do yourself a favor, watch this video. It's 100% worth your time. And after that, in your new school video of the week, we have Justin Hughes in Israel. You might want to put this video on mute if you're gonna watch it around kids because of the song, but other than that, the video's great. There's a ton of awesome new school street riding in here, so if that's something that you're into, this is definitely one from the past week that you're gonna want to check out. And then we had a video called the Elusive Blue Falcon from Merritt BMX. If the title didn't give it away, this video is with Brian Foster with fresh footage from Brian Foster, and that's not something that happens every day, so you're definitely going to want to check this one out. Starts out with some box jump tricks, then he does a pretty gnarly and tight setup for a fufanu on a back rail. Then it moves into concrete skate park riding, all of the stuff that you're used to seeing from Brian. All of it's awesome. He even does a crank flip gap at the concrete skate park, and I don't know what it is about the contrast between all of the awesome flowy type riding that he does and stuff like sub-rail fufanus. It's just awesome to watch. And then we had a video called 48 Hours in Seattle with Tom Dugan from Odyssey. You already know what you're getting into whenever you push play on a Tom Dugan video. This is all of that, and honestly, the last clip in this video is worth watching the rest of the video for. Complete insanity on that last clip, and I bet you that it's something that people at that skate park have talked about forever, and probably no one's ever done it, and Tom did a trick into it. So just hit the link in the description below to check out the video and see what I'm talking about. There's links to everything that I've talked about so far and everything that I'm going to be talking about in the description below as well, in the order that it's talked about. So if you're interested in anything, links down below. And the last video that I want to talk in depth about this week is how to saran wrap with Erik Elstran from MADERA as a MADERA MEMO. Being someone that makes how-to videos every week and does saran wraps, Erik does a fantastic job explaining how to do a saran wrap in this video. The saran wrap is definitely a trick that isn't as hard as it would seem like it would be. I landed the first one that I ever tried over a dirt jump, if that tells you anything. I think the only thing that he might not have touched on in this video is that you can get away with catching your hand and your pedal as you're hitting the ground, and sometimes just a second after you hit the ground, so it's relatively safe depending upon where you're trying it at. Bunny hops, fakie onto a wedge, fly out, things like that. As long as you're not doing something where you have to catch it before you land in order to roll away from it, you can usually get away with fudging the landing up just a little bit. It's definitely a trick that I would recommend anyone who's interested try, and Erik does a great job at explaining it, so check out his video and learn saran wraps. And that's the last video that I want to talk in depth about this week, but as always, we've got a bunch of other videos to talk about that are worth watching, so we'll run through those right now. The first one is called Left in the Deck 666, then Johan Buren in London from BSD and Sparky's France, followed by the United BMX team in France in a video called United BMX Incarnate, a re-up of Craig Passero's section from the Wham Cam video, followed by raw clips from Alex Donachie before he hurt his knee. This one was called Alex Donachie Haul 2 Raw Clips from BSD, a Drop the Pin from Ride with Jordan Goodwin and Dan Crook, followed by an Animal Bikes Take It mixtape. This is almost 10 minutes of footage from some of the Animal team, including Chase Dehart. And the last one is a Brock Rayford Summer 2018 compilation. Then after that, we had some quickie check it out if you care news and a few bike checks from this week. We had a Tom Dugan video bike check from Fit, followed by a DeMarcus Paul bike check from Volume and a Brett Silva video bike check from Sunday. And in the product news from this week, we had a Dan LACEY DLX frame promo video from Federal. This one just had shots of the frame itself and the specs. The specs are as follows: a 13.75 inch rear end, a 75.5 degree head tube angle, an 11.8 inch bottom bracket height, a 9 inch standover, a 71 degree seat tube angle, and it comes in the matte pastel blue that you're seeing on the screen right now, as well as matte black. And the reason that this one came out is because Dan LACEY has been been on Federal's team for 10 years now. He's had a signature frame for 5, so they wanted to do something special in completely redesigning his frame. Then we had the Sabrosa or OM fork, not sure how it's said, but Sabrosa's Joris Kalam's signature fork has come out. It's $142 in the Sabrosa web store. It's got a 22mm offset and it comes in black or chrome. There were promo videos released this week for all of Kink's completes for 2019. There's a link in the description below to a write-up on BMX Union with all of the videos to every single complete bike. Then we had a new clay brown colorway come out this week for the Fit Heartbreaker frame. There's also a link in the description below to a write-up on BMX Union about this frame with all of the dimensions and related info, so check that out in the description below if you care. And then from there we can move into the new segment that we've been doing called the interview segment. The first one is the Chris Doyle Feeble Talk from Ride. The beginning of this one is honestly as real as it gets. Chris Doyle, Ryan Fudger, and Calvin Kosovich sit down and they talk about what happened to Doyle in Arizona and the entire situation leading up to it, after it, and things like that. And really all I want to say about this is a big thank you to Chris for being willing to talk about this in front of a camera and put it out there for everyone to see. I'm sure it was hard, but the realness of it and just hearing you talk about the whole situation and how you're here and you might not have been here anymore, just crazy. I'm literally got some goosebumps talking about it. You got to watch this one. Then they get into more lighthearted riding related stuff. It's 100% one that you have to watch it. Everybody knows who Doyle is. Everybody loves Doyle. So this is definitely one that you have to check out or at least listen to. There's just something about listening to people be that real that gives you a new perspective and appreciation for them as a person. And then another video with Doyle in it is a Your Favorite Rider's Favorite Rider from Ride with Chris Doyle. This is another one with a legitimate favorite rider talking about his favorite rider. This time we've got Chris Doyle talking about his favorite rider, Chris Bennett. As usual, this is a great one. They put all of the videos and pictures and whatnot on the screen with Chris while he was talking about Chris Bennett. And I personally think that this series can only get better as long as they keep it limited to people who are legitimate favorite riders. And then we had another BMX in Our Blood podcast come out this week. This time it was part 1 of an interview with Steve Crandall. And just like you would expect, this one was worth the listen and it's a great listen. I've only had a chance to get part of the way through this one, but Crandall is the type of person that you could listen to tell stories all day long and not get tired of it. So if you want to hear some BMX history and the history of FBM and just conversation with someone involved in the industry of BMX, this one is one you've got to check out. And then we had 2 more podcasts that I haven't had a chance to listen to yet. The first one is the Rollback podcast from Vital BMX, this time with Nina Betrago. And then we had the Snakebite podcast, this time with Mike Rooftop Escamilla. And that's everything that we have to talk about this week as far as BMX news goes. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the new background if I got it to work. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button down below as well. I come out with this BMX news video every Friday along with one BMX news video that is also a Montana Ricky rider spotlight. I also do tips and tricks videos every Tuesday with other types of riding videos and streams throughout the week. Thank you all again for watching and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.